the show. You're watching Seeing the Unseen with Christopher LaPrath, and my name's Kenan, his son and the producer of the show. Now, for anyone who might be out there joining us for the very first time, be sure to say something so I know you're here. And I'll put you in line for a reading, and Christopher will get you all in order. Now, tonight's title, Open to More Magic, I'm sure there will be some really interesting things said about that. Personally, I've experienced so much more magic in my life lately to the point that I'm really seeing a brighter tomorrow on a level that I couldn't previously imagine before. And we've been saying that a lot, but it's really happening now. And I'm sure it's happening for you all too. Just things are getting better and better in ways we're just now able to comprehend, and they're consistently getting better in ways we have yet to imagine. So, readings are a great way to invest in yourself, your healing, and your future. Thank you all so very much for your contributions. And because I didn't say so, the first time, of course, is always free, so don't be shy. And going forward after that, it's just $10 per reading, or you can pay $100 and cover the entire month. It's a pretty sweet deal in my opinion, since we do the show 3 times a week. So that's all I have to say. Sit back, relax, enjoy the show, and here's Christopher. Thanks for listening.
Oh my God, thank you all so much for being here. I just got home a couple of hours ago from a 5-day trip to northern Arizona, where the most incredible film festival takes place. But first, I'll tell you a little bit about it, but I wanted to light the incense. This incense comes from Bhutan, from the Rinpoche that taught the Dalai Lama. And I light it for you. This is for you to allow more magic, more serendipitous events into your life. This is for all of you. You may not be able to smell it, but the energy behind it, as your prayers, your needs, your wants ascend to heaven, think about what it is you want. Think about what it is that you can contribute to the earth. What is that you can help and do and say to other people, even if it's just a smile. So, great blessings to you. And if y'all want to come up with a good name for this, this is the award that we won. Scott Ambrosi and me, we wrote a script for my book, which is a nonfiction about, the book is called Trestle Creek, Things the Dead Fear. And it's on Amazon, that you can order it on Amazon to get a copy if you want. And we wrote a script, took it up to the Sholo Film Festival, and we won the top award for the best supernatural screenplay. So thank you all for your support. I know I missed the show last night. We actually, at the same time as the show, we were receiving this. So we'll do a makeup show on Thursday. Now, if you're here for the first time, it's really important to let us know that you're here. So say hi, say hello, something in the chat. And then Kenan, my producer, will put it in order and we'll pull a card for, we'll do a reading for you. Okay? But we have to know that you're here. Otherwise we won't know. But I wanted to thank you all for your prayers and for your support, because what you give out comes back exponentially. And the award was wonderful, but it was who I met along the way that was really extraordinary. And so I'll give you one of the examples. I met a well-known producer, and we were talking quite a bit about energies and about how thought systems and belief systems really can affect you. And when those leave, when they start dropping off, it can feel really kind of disconcerting. Just in metaphysical terms, they call it the tower, where things fall apart, but they have to fall apart in order to restructure. And we're taught in our society to use our head to figure things out. But Einstein said, you can't figure things out from the same place that the problem was created. You begin to loop. So we were talking and I showed him how to stay in his gut. Okay. And he goes, well, oh my God, that is so powerful. How do I remember that? I said, well, you get a sticky note and write on the sticky note, stay in my gut. And then, in fact, I'll be back in a minute. I got to find a sticky note. I'll put it, stay in your gut. And if you just lift up your shirt, I'll put it on your belly button. And he started laughing. But it was just a way to help remember. And then when I got home, I texted him this. Stay in your gut. That is where the magic happens. It's not being in your head, not forcing things. I'll give you an example. Scott was one of the speakers for this film festival because he was nominated for an Academy Award in 2004 for the movie Super Size Me. And so he was doing a presentation on screenwriting and storytelling. So he worked many, many hours on this PowerPoint presentation. Well, and he was up all night the night before, going over and over the presentation. We get to the theater. It's a block of movie theaters is where the film festival takes place. He gets to the movie theater, gets all plugged in, starts his presentation. Presentation does not work. People cannot see the slides. The slides show up on the big screen, just like at the movie theater. Didn't work. And that is like very unnerving when you have a theater full of people waiting to hear your presentation and you can get caught up in what's not working. But when he let go and goes, you know what, this is not going to work, he came back into himself and just created this magical presentation. My point of telling you this story is magic isn't here. It's what you create with your spirit, but mainly from your gut. So I start each show with a group card. And this group card tonight, it's called Orion Activation. Orion is probably the most familiar constellation or easy to find constellation in the Northern Hemisphere. If you look up, Orion is called the Hunter. And you don't necessarily see the Hunter, but you see these 3 stars. It's called Orion's Belt. And the power behind this group card is for all of you tonight. In that Orion's Belt is a nebula that they have discovered is a star creator. I'm not an astrophysicist, so I'm going to look at my notes. Okay? The best way to describe this space within that belt is a star nursery. It's where stars are born, where new stars come into being. This is what's happening to you. And sometimes it can be a little disconcerting or a little uneasy, especially when you go through a transformation. That transformation, think about giving birth, Okay, any woman out there that's on the show that's ever given birth, they call it, before the birth, they call it, what do they call it? Labor. And so there's this kind of laborious thing that comes along, and they teach you to stay out of your head and to do the Lamaze method of natural breathing. Before Kenan was born, I went to the birthing classes. Right? It's the Lamaze method of natural breathing, and that helps to control your thoughts. Your breath controls your thoughts. So when you get into a loop, and when you're birthing a new star, stay out of your head. Keep yourself occupied. Watch a movie. Take up knitting. Lindsay, go paint. Do something that is distracting. Okay? So this Orion constellation, it's also a home to a number, millions of beings. And these beings are really dedicated to the evolution of mankind. They're dedicated to your evolution. And so they honor all beings. And at this film festival, there were people from all over the world, every different race, every different color, that were celebrating messages that they made into a film. And so we went to enter our script, which again, won, but it's all about this evolution of consciousness, and you are such a big part of it. Everything you say, even everything you think, expands the consciousness, can expand the consciousness, or it can contract. So what would you rather do? Expand or contract? So all of your fears, all of your setbacks are being stripped from your energy field. This is the group card tonight. And that can be a little bit uncomfortable at times. It can be a little confusing. But it's essential. It is absolutely essential for these things to fall away in order for you to go through a process of renewal, in order for you to move forward. And that's what's happening with you. So these beings from Orion are surrounding you now, because they see you as one of them. So what would it take for you to see yourself as one of them, as something different? Because this is you coming into your purpose, knowing your value, and then making that difference in the world. That's the group card tonight. So great blessings to all of you. Okay, be sure, if you're new, please say hello. We won't know you're here. And we won't be able to pull a card for you unless you say something in the chat, whatever chat you're in, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch. Okay, who's next?
Lindsay's first.
Okay, Lindsay, here we go.
She says she's got plenty of distractions.
Okay. Plenty of distractions, LOL. Okay, great. Well, Lindsay, you've got spin class tonight, you're cooking now, and you're getting Ellie ready for karate. Plenty of distractions. Okay. Can you put some time in there for just laying in a pile? This card is uselessness. It is just simply taking time to chill. It's laying down the swords of thinking and thought, and just, when I was growing up, there used to be a commercial on TV that said, "Let Calgon take you away." Calgon was like bath salts that you added to your bath. It's like basically Epsom salts. But this will actually help you if anyone's going through a transition. These belief systems can actually get lodged into your myofascia, your body. And so literally, Lindsay, taking a bath and just soaking like in Epsom salts, that type of thing, maybe a couple of drops of essential oil that you really love the smell of, and being able to just do nothing. Because when you do nothing, that's where the downloads come. I've told this story before, Lindsay, so I'm going to tell it to everyone tonight again. The gentleman that invented the sewing machine could not figure out where to put the hole in the needle, because for centuries the hole in the needle was at the top of the needle. But there was no way for a sewing machine, there was no way he could figure out where to put the hole, because it wouldn't work at the top. That's where the machine was holding onto the needle. So he fell asleep in front of the fire. He went into uselessness. He kind of went into the unconscious. And he had a dream. And he was being chased through a jungle by these natives. And they were throwing spears at him. And when he looked at the spear, there was a hole in the middle of the spear. Not at the top, but the middle. That's why sewing machines have holes in the middle of the needle. Just an example. Okay, Lindsay? Okay. All right, my dear Laurel. Thank you all so much for your congratulations. I got them all. I so appreciate that. It's really exciting. It's thrilling. Hi, Laurel. Let me think what this card is. Can you take a picture of this card? Relationship. The Lovers. So there's a relationship coming into your life. And so what's happening is, from this reading tonight, Laurel, is making room for it. And how you make room for it is letting go of all your past relationships. Are you willing to let go of all the past relationships that you've been in before? All of the projections that were put upon you, or all of the demands, and be free of comparing that to what's coming in. This is brand new. This is healthy. This is beautiful. And it is allow it. Are you willing to just allow it? That's what I would encourage you to do. Simply allow it. Just stay present. Be free of forcing anything. The universe gives us like previews sometimes, but it ain't the whole movie. So you meet a guy and you really like his build, but he doesn't have much going on up here, but you like the build. Or you meet somebody that has a really good build and has it going up here too, but is not generous or compassionate. Okay, well, I like his build and I like his brain. Okay, universe. I like the previews so far. Okay, keep coming. Keep coming. All right. Oh, because it helps you refine. Good build, good brain, compassionate, and loving and generous. You get my drift? It's like these are previews coming, but it helps you define what it is that you really want in your life, but it's coming into your life. Okay. Who's next?
Laura. Or you got Marilyn next.
I got so Marilyn Pitts?
Yeah.
Hey Marilyn. Oh my God. I'm so excited I just can't hide it. I'm about to lose control, but I think I like it. Okay. Well, this seems to be a recurring theme for you, my dear Marilyn. Out east. The Magician. It's called transmutation. Would you mind looking up the definition of transmutation, Kenan?
Sure.
He'll type transmutation in the chat. And again, if you're here and you're new, say something.
Tim Rice's mom just tuned in.
What's that?
Tim Rice's mom just tuned in.
Tim Rice's mom just tuned in.
Yeah.
Nice to have you. Kay?
Yeah.
Kay. Nice to have you, Kay. Welcome. So, Marilyn, okay, so I'll tell you the story. This friend of mine was moving, and they gave me some of their things to keep at my place. So after about, I don't know, 3 weeks, and she got everything moved, they got everything moved into their new place. I took everything back to their place that I was keeping safe for her. And she goes, well, I'm missing this box. Oh, I went, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Everyone, I came home and I looked through everything in the house. And I called them, I said, no, I don't have that box. I don't remember that. So she actually, she looked through all of her stuff. The box was just, and there were some important things in there. So last week, I opened the closet. I was looking for a pair of shoes to take up with me to Sholo. And there was the box on the floor of the closet that I had looked through that closet at least half a dozen times. And it was literally right there. I'm thinking, well, this is really interesting. And I immediately took it over there. And she's like, you know what's interesting is, she goes, I didn't really need the materials in this box until this week. And this was almost a year ago. Very strange. My point of telling you this story, Marilyn, this is a non-linear universe. I've had rings I put up on my bedstand, and the next morning they're gone. They're absolutely gone. And I go, oh well, I guess I didn't need it. I've looked on the floor, looked through the bed, everything. Nope, they're just gone. It's like, okay, time to replace. So when these things happen, you think, am I going crazy? No. It's transmutation. It's literally, we don't understand all of our powers. We don't even understand all of the powers that are out there. You think about a star nursery. we have no way of even describing or experiencing a star nursery and new creations that are coming in and old creations that are going out. So this is the magician card. And learn to let it go without any attachment. All right.
Very good. Austin is next.
Okay, Austin. Okay. This is Victory. Austin. Victory. This is the time to make like presentations. This is like job interview. This is like promotion. In this field for you, presenting new ideas and them being accepted, or it's all timing, and then trusting the timing of it. So let me give you an example. I'm going to go back to this. On Friday, there were people that were pitching their script. They call it a script pitch, where it's kind of like a salesman telling you in 2 minutes or less what the product is and what it does. And so people get to pitch their scripts to industry leaders within the movie industry or television industry. So on Friday, Scott and I went to this, we went to hear the other people pitch their scripts. And it wasn't very good. And one of the industry leaders came down front and he goes, and he was really trying to be kind. He's like, well, but he said, listen, what you need, first of all, is what would they call a pitch deck, Austin. They call it a pitch deck, where he goes, whether it's one sheet of paper or a stack of 5 sheets of paper, we need to have something to look at as to what that script is about while you're pitching your script. Well, Scott and I look at each other and go, oh boy, this is Friday afternoon. We run out, we have to go to a Starbucks because up in that area, Wi-Fi is really sketchy. Like, not everybody, you can lose Wi-Fi, you lose phone connections. People have tried to call me or text me, I don't get them sometimes for days. But anyway, my point is, we went to Starbucks, made the deck, and we had to have it to the printer before 5 o'clock. That's when the printer closed, and they weren't open on weekends. It wasn't. They don't have like a Office Max or Staples or anything like that. So we printed it out, Austin, got it to the printer, printed it out, and it was perfect the next day. And the audience, we were able to make a copy and hand it to everyone in the audience. And then I happened to think, I'm going to bring my books, and so I was able to gift those that attended, or at least if it was a couple, I would be able to give them a book with it. So it was this synchronicity of events that enabled us to be able to give a great presentation on Saturday. This is your card. If you're trying to force something, stop it. Sit back and go, okay. Now, we knew what we had to get done. That was different than forcing it, because we got it done. So this is doors opening for you. Okay, who's next?
So it's one and done.
Hey, Mindy. So Mindy, what if your neighbors, instead of taking the trash, their trash out to the garbage bin outside in the parking lot or wherever it is, what if they just came and just left it at your doorstep and expect you to take the garbage for them? It's okay to let people thrash. So one of the films I saw, so let me share this experience. One of the films, it was a 10-minute film. It was called The Dumping Station. And it was this kind of heavy-set blonde woman, and she was at a dumping station where you dump sewage from travel trailers, right? So if your travel trailer has a toilet, you have to dump it manually into a dumping station. So she's standing there and she's kind of watching people pull up, and they get out of their RV, recreational vehicle, and they'll go, "Oh, you know what? I got to tell you, these kids are driving me crazy in this trip. I don't know why I'm taking this trip. These kids are really driving me crazy." And they start dumping on her. So it's a play on words, dumping station. And then the first gentleman is like, these kids are driving me crazy, but I really love my kids, and my wife isn't really so bad, and we're able to take this wonderful trip. And this goes through like two or three people, right? Where they get out of their RV, they put the sewage hose in the dumping station, and she's standing there. She doesn't say anything. She can't say anything. She can't even get a word in edgewise, this blonde woman. And they're just dumping on her. And then eventually, after they're done dumping, they're more free. And then they start looking at the positive aspect. So at the very end of this movie, the last trailer pulls away, and she goes to her trailer, and her husband's sitting in the trailer, and he says to her in German or some other language, I don't even know what language it was. He goes, "What took you so long?" And she's like, "I have no idea what these Americans were talking about." She goes, "But they just kept talking and talking, and then finally they ended up smiling, and I have no idea what they were." And this is all in another language that she didn't understand English. So it's okay, Melinda, for you to not understand English. Do you understand the metaphor there? When people are dumping on you, oh. And you can use every facial expression and not take it on. You are free of needing to fix it. Okay, who's next?
Very good, Don.
Hey, Dawn. Thank you so much for being with us tonight. All right, my dear. This is the Moon card. This is your psychic ability intensifying. Okay, so let me tell you this illustration, Dawn. Children have tens of thousands more taste buds than adults. Their taste buds are not just on their tongue. They're on the roof of the mouth, on the cheek, on the lining of the cheek, on the bottom of the tongue, on the bottom of the mouth. They have an ability. When they say they don't like peas, they mean it. Because they can taste way more than you can. So this comes in line with Melinda's card. You've got more psychic taste buds than most people. And there's nothing wrong with you. You are seeing the situation correctly. And anywhere, Dawn, so when you go fishing in the ocean for crabs, you don't have to put a lid on the crab cage. We've talked about this. Because when the fishermen start to pull the crab cage up, there's no lid. They don't need a lid. Because if one crab starts to crawl out of the cage, the other crabs just pull it back down. Anywhere where anyone is pulling you down energetically, are you willing to be free of the need to be nice about that? And energetically kick that crab in the kisser and get out of the cage. This is more freedom for you. This is you pursuing your dreams. But take a look a little closely. What are your dreams? What is it left that you'd like to create? I had no idea, Dawn. I had no idea that I was going to write a book, but I just knew I liked writing, and it kind of lit me up. And I wrote one paragraph, and I go, I kind of like this. Wrote 2 paragraphs, wrote a page, 20 pages, 350 pages, a book, boom. I'd never written a script, wrote a script. I had professionals tell me the script really stinks. And I gave the book to Scott Ambrosi last April. He called me the next day. He goes, I want to help you write this script. Boom. We wrote a script over a period of 3-4 months. And we got this. My point of telling you this, all of you, this story, is just because you've never done something before, please, doesn't matter. Start it. You're bettering yourself. You're bettering yourself, Dawn. You're bettering yourself. Okay.
Your sister Diane.
Hey, Diney. Thank you so much for your huge praise and accolades and all of that. Okay. So this is Mom coming through. And she's singing When It's Springtime in the Rockies far away. Excuse me. There's a little energy moving on this one. Stay out of the past. When you start going into the past, and there's because that song had a sadness to it. It had a when it's springtime in the Rockies far away. There's a remorse. It's a beautiful song, but it's really sad and it's not uplifting. This is changing. This card is swiftness. It's changing your thoughts instantly. When you catch yourself going into the remorse or to the memories or things were better back then or blah, 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 get out of it. Stay present. Okay, who's next?
Lana.
Lanny. Hey. Okay, my dearest.
Sears.
I don't know what this means, but Harley's coming through and he's talking about mountain sheep. Okay. he's talking about how mountain sheep can like cling to the most vertical of precipices of cliffs, right? And he's talking about your I don't know what this is, but he's talking about your toes, like your ability to just hang on. You're ascending, and things are going to get, they'll level out. They'll level out again for you. But also, there's something with mountain sheep. So maybe you want to do a little research, Lanny, on what the spirit animal mountain sheep means for you. There's the spirit of a mountain sheep with you. So I don't know what that means, but it's very strong, and what that mountain sheep symbolizes. I don't know if you have a taxidermy of a mountain sheep or a goat, mountain goat. But there's something very symbolic that Harley's very adamant about. And then I'm getting the song Hang On, Sloopy, Sloopy, Hang On. I don't know why that's coming across. That's from the 60s. And getting that, it's like getting that rock and roll back on. You were his rock and roll. You are his rock and roll. It's just this joy. It's more about, it's this joy coming in. And then there. Oh, okay. He's talking about a place on the river. I don't know what river this is, but it's a river. You know where it is. That he's talking about having him going there with you on the river, and the peace that you feel on that river. That's the peace coming to you. It's like a soul piece, and I love this because it's being able to be given to everybody on the show tonight. This absolute peace. All right, who's next?
We've got John.
Hey, John. Thank you for your donation. I so appreciate it very, very much. Those donations truly do help keep the show going. Well, this is love. So it's interesting because this is similar to Laurel's card earlier with the love card. Anywhere, John, that you believe you're not lovable, and this is not just on the conscious level, subconscious level, anywhere where you have anywhere adapted a belief system around being lovable, are you willing to let go of that and just know that you are absolutely lovable? Let go of not being lovable and know how much this is loving absolutely more and more of yourself, loving where you're at in life, what you've done, what you've accomplished, and be able to share that. And you don't have to share it verbally. So another story, John, on the show this weekend. We were at this this waitress. Did I tell this story already on the show?
No.
Okay, we're at Denny's. It's the only restaurant open after 10 o'clock in this little town of Show Low. So there were 15 of us that walked in, that were all in film and script writing and whatever it was, and we were hungry. So they sat us at a table of 15, and this dear waitress comes up, and she had our table, and she had 9 more tables, and she was the only waitress. So she was fried. She was just doing her best. You know, we were absolutely kind, but I have never sat so long at a Denny's in my life. But I enjoyed it. We were having a good time. Anyway, came time to pay because we'd asked to all be on separate tickets. So I went up to the counter, and she was there, and she had her back to me, and she was crying. She was so frustrated. And I said, well, you know, Scott and I are together, and we had this and this. And I looked over, and there was a very well-known film producer that was waiting with me. And I looked over at him, and I did this. I started staring at him. And he goes, what? And I go, well, you know what I do. You know what my script's about. So I'm just going to tell you, there's this blue light around you. And he looks at me and goes, we need to talk. Because in his life, he'd been told 3 times by different people that he'd had this blue light. He wanted to know what it was. So anyway, my point of telling you this, John, is acknowledging this light, loving who you are, but there's definitely love coming into your life. Okay, who's next?
Awesome. So it's Katie Bradford. It's Tim Rice as well.
Kay Bradford, thank you so much for being on the show, my dear. Okay. Are you willing, Kay, to let go of all constructs around age? This is the rebirth card. This is a rebirth, a new way of looking at things and letting go of the past. Letting go of the worries. So worry never climbed a hill. Worry never paid a bill. Worry never done a thing you thought it oughta. Worry is a waste of spiritual energy. And when you worry, you create. The universe goes, okay, well, I guess Kay's worrying again. So we'll give her more things to worry about. I guess that's what she wants. Are you willing to let go of that in any way, shape, or form? Worrying about your kids. Worrying about finances. Worrying about old, being anywhere of age. You know, there are people that get on a roller coaster, Kay, and they never enjoy the ride because they're worried about their seatbelt. You know what I mean? So this is letting go of the worry and giving you more peace. That's what this is about. So great blessings to you, great peace to you, and thank you so much for being here tonight. And I'm going to share that with everyone tonight. Okay, who's next?
Jared and Kat.
Hey, Jared. Hey, Kat. Oh my God. Okay. You guys, I apologize. I'm way behind on my messages. So, I literally haven't slept for 2 nights. And it's not that I've been partying. It's just I've been really busy and getting a lot of things done. So, Jared, I will catch up on your messages. All right. Talked about this, Jared, on the show before. When and Lanik, you can relate to this, or Diane. In Idaho, we had a lot of barbed wire fences, and the thing is, when you cross a barbed wire fence, you don't wear an Angora sweater. if you plan on getting through that barbed wire fence successfully. So Jared, if you're at a party and there have been a lot of people drinking, are you free of taking on the responsibility of holding everybody's hair back at the toilet while they're throwing up? Allow people. There are people that just sometimes they just need to throw up. Like I was telling earlier about the dumping station, where if you allow just people to talk without you feeling like you need to solve their problem, but look below as to what the anger is or what the emotion is, you'll find it's not about you at all. And sometimes they just need a listening ear, but you not getting caught up in the emotion of that person. So maybe you go to work and somebody's in a grumpy mood, just allow them to be in a grumpy mood and be free of the need to fix it. All right, Kat. As logical and as brilliant as you are, Kat, you can absolutely just be as mysterious or be okay in the mystery. If I had gone up, like I went up to Sholo with, I set an intention, but I was also open to any, I was focusing more on the friendships and the relationships I was going to make, even though I had set an intention to do well with the script. But there's this mystery of life is what makes life worth living, Kat. So we don't have to always need to know how it's going to work out, and stay in the moment. Because when you're worried about how it's going to work out, you get swung out of the present and into the future. Or like Diane, we're talking about, if you stay present, it keeps you out of the past. Bring it back to the present, Kat. Also, go get a massage. Okay, who's next?
It's a new person called Anna who heard about the show from her friend Christy.
Hey, Hannah. Thank you so much for being here. Welcome to the show. That's fantastic.
Anna, no H.
Huh? Anna. Okay. Thank you, Anna. All right, Anna. Anywhere where anyone is not supporting you with uplifting comments, are you willing to let them go? Or willing to not be around them, even though they're a close friend or a relative, family member? Anywhere where they're insidiously bringing up any type of failure, understand that they're talking about themselves, not about you. They're frustrated around their own failures, but they're outwardly directing them at other people. It's not about you. It's not about your failures. Are you willing to let go of looking at any of your failures? There is no failure. There's simply a learning. You don't expect a 4-year-old to make a perfect chocolate chip cookie the first time. That's ridiculous. They watch you make chocolate chip cookies maybe for a few years. And maybe you allow them to pour the milk into the flour and mix it up. It takes them time. Look, you don't call them a failure at making chocolate chip cookies at 4 years old. It's ridiculous. It's with these people are the crabs in a cage that continue to try to pull you down. You're breaking free of that. Look at your victories. All right, who's next?
So last one is Richard and I guess Hope.
Okay. All right, Richard.
Oh, Giles. Just popped on.
Giles popped on. Okay, good. All right, Richard. Richard, it's really important for you to get back into weightlifting training. It's really important for you to move some of the toxins out of your body. And Hope. And Hope, my message here, the message from Spirit here is be free of forcing things. The reason you force things, or a reason a person forces things, is the fear of things not working out. Well, but when you force things, you're actually forcing them to not work out. And it keeps you in a vicious loop. Okay, who's next? Hey, Giles.
Giles last, yeah.
Giles, this is restraint. I would highly recommend, Giles, if you're going to watch social media, stay away from anything negative. Only listen to uplifting right now. I'm not saying never do this, but only listen to what is positive, uplifting, and beautiful. You know that old saying that we were raised with, Giles, if you can't say anything kind, don't say anything at all. Don't do it. Keep the mouth shut. These are the angels showing me duct tape right here. Okay? If you can't say anything kind, don't say anything at all. And it's like because we can be so influenced by the media or by Facebook or by social media or whatever it is. This is only watching right now or listening to uplifting music. Uplifting music. Okay. Well, are we got everybody?
I think so.
Do we have everybody? Have we got everybody? If we don't have everybody, please say something in your chat. Hello, hi. That way we'll be sure to be able to pull a card for you. Otherwise, we don't know. We can't see the chats. We don't know that you're here.
So there's one more person, Hope Zamarin, who was on last time she came back. So.
Oh, so didn't
Oh,
I
and
just
now
read?
There's another new person here, Mia. So no, there's a different Hope that was with Richard. So then there's a Hope, and now this Mia person.
Okay, so I've already read for Hope.
Okay. Previously, right, on another show. It was
No,
first time.
I just,
Hope was with Richard. This is a different Hope.
this is a different, so Hope, okay.
Hope Zamarin, right?
Hope Zamarin's different.
And then apparently people on Facebook too. So sorry about that.
So what now?
There are a few more people on Facebook also.
Okay, how are we missing Facebook?
Yeah, I just spaced it. I'm sleep deprived too, evidently.
So,
Okay, who are we missing on Facebook? I'm so sorry. Thank you, Abby, for letting us know.
Yeah. We've got, Marilyn, Jeff Reynolds, Heather.
Okay, Heather and Marilyn and Jeff Reynolds. Okay, so we'll do Heather. Heather's new. Thank you so much for being here. I'm so sorry. Somehow that's never happened before. All right, Heather. Thank you for being here. So time is a construct, Heather. Clocks, our timing of things, it's like a little kid in the back of a car going on a trip. Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? A child's concept of time is completely different than adult, right? So I will tell everyone on the show this story again. If you go to China, you don't speak the Chinese language and you're hungry, you go to a restaurant and the waiter brings you the menu and there's beautiful pictures on the menu. When the waiter comes back to take your order and you don't speak Chinese, what happens, Heather, if you start pointing at everything on the menu that you don't want? The waiter is going to bring you what you don't want, right? Because you're pointing at it. When you're pointing, so the universe is your waiter. It's going to bring you what you're pointing at. If you're pointing at, well, why aren't things working out? Then the waiter's like, okay, we'll give her more of why are things not working out. So that's what this is about. It's letting go of your construct of time so that Uber's late. Okay, that gives you time to vacuum your hallway. It's like, how, universe, how else can I use this time? Or show me another way. And it's being free of forcing an issue or forcing a way of being or doing. This is upping your consciousness, Heather. That's what you're here to do. You're upping your consciousness, and this is the hangman. So this is like, the term is like, hang out, wait. Just wait. But during that waiting time, who can you help? Get out of yourself and go, who can I help? Okay.
Beautiful. We've got Katie next. Katie Weathers-Zirple.
And she's new.
Yes.
Okay. And we have Jeff, right?
We'll do Jeff Reynolds next.
Okay, we'll do Jeff. Okay. We got everybody on Facebook now, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. All right, here we go, Jeff. And by the way, if you're all new to the show, I should have showed you this. I shuffle through the cards, and whatever card falls out, your higher self, your guides, your angels are the ones that pick that card. All right, so Jeff, what's happening here? This is the Mourning card, Mourning. So when you are getting in transition, we started off with the group card, which was the Orion card. This is important for all of us to know. When you let go of the old way of being, there is some mourning there. There is some sadness. It's a letting go of how you used to be. And maybe even a little letting go of, gosh, I coulda, shoulda, woulda. I shoulda, coulda, woulda done better. It's all letting that go. So there's this mourning process that is necessary to healing. When someone passes away, right? There's all of those steps that a person goes through: anger, denial, remorse, regret, and it is a process. But what's happening, part of this is right now, is letting go and feeling sometimes a little sad about that. But you're okay. You really are okay. And you've done really well with what you've had. You've done really well with it. The mourning period will pass. There's this joy coming in for you. Great joy.
There you go, Abby in Maryland.
Okay, my dear Abby in Maryland. Thank you for letting us know, Abby. I so much appreciate you. I know it's late over there now, but for Abby, this is telling stories around a campfire, Abby. There's something really powerful for you around fire. So I don't know if you're wanting to do a group gathering, or just even get a small group together and build a fire, even if it's in a fire pit outside, or even a can, like even a coffee can, right, with a fire in it. Do a fire ceremony where you're writing down what no longer serves you and add it to the fire. Okay? Add it to the fire and let it be gone. Let it dissolve. Let it be. And you can actually do this as a kind of a small ceremony for other people or for close friends. You'll notice a difference in their energy field. What? Are you laughing? Okay. And then we have Marilyn. Okay, so we've got... All right, Marilyn, we're coming up. Here we go. I know it's late for you, so thanks for hanging in there. And then who do we have after Marilyn, Kenan?
Christina Seymour Brown and Tim Rice.
Okay, then we have Christina. And what about Maya?
She'll be last.
Okay. All right, Marilyn. You are a great nurturer. This is the motherhood card. There's a soul coming to you, Marilyn. It's in the form of an animal. I know you look at animals as not just animals. They're souls, but there's another soul coming to you in the form of a it's a dog. How you take care of your dogs is basically how people want to be treated. And you tell your dogs no, and they get it. They understand. It's okay to tell people no. They'll get it. They'll understand. Okay. All right. And then we've got Christina.
So, yeah, Christina, Tim Rice, yeah, yeah.
So Christina, then we'll do Tim, and then Maya.
Mine,
Okay. All right, Chris. Thank you all for being here. I love this. This is so great. Okay, Christina. Anywhere where somebody is trying to make you feel dumb or stupid or less than, that is their stuff. Because if they can... So I'm going to go back. We were talking with Marilyn about dogs, right? If you look at dogs, they will, to prove the what do they call alpha dog? To prove they're alpha dog, they'll hold the other dog down. Sometimes they'll even put their jaws around their neck. Where this is your freedom of expression, Christina, opening up, free of the fear of being called stupid or not knowing. You know your gut. You know what you know. Go with that. And in no way, shape, or form are you willing right now to let go of anywhere that anyone has called you ignorant or even implied it by their looks or their energy or ew, just ew. It's not. You're doing great, and can you give yourself? Are you willing to give yourself more credit about how smart you are? I didn't start going to college till I was in my 50s, and I went and got my master's degree. Trust your smartness. Trust your street smarts. This is an acknowledgement from Spirit that yes, you are smart. And anywhere where anyone is downgrading or derogatory, move them aside. Just move on. Keep moving forward. Okay, Christine and Tim.
Tim Rice, you got it.
All right. All right, Tim. Peace. You bring peace to yourself first, and then peace on earth, goodwill toward men. So I've talked a little about to Giles, when I was doing Giles reading earlier, about staying away from controversial posts or controversial news. Because because you're so sensitive to energy, Tim, they can pull you out of yourself. This is bringing more peace back in. So try this for a week. I'm going to give you the same suggestion to you that I gave to Giles, is only watch what is peaceful, only watch what is joyful, only speak what is positive, only hear what is positive. If you start hearing someone going, blah, 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 the economy, blah, 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 the politics, blah, blah, blah. Oh gosh, look what time it is. I gotta go. Make hay. You don't have to be around there. You don't have to listen to it. Or you can simply change the subject. All right, who's next?
Maya.
Maya. Thank you. Thank you, Maya. Welcome to the show.
She's last.
Huh?
She's last.
Okay. Okay, so Maya, when you are fighting against something or someone, you're creating a polarization. So you know the positive and negative magnet, and it's creating this magnetism or this dynamic where people think they have to fight. So this will help Maya. Mother Teresa was asked one time to join an anti-war movement. It's for a good cause, Mother Teresa. It's fighting against war. She's like, no. But I will join a peace movement. Do you understand there? Where people are like fighting an establishment or fighting a corporation or fighting a marriage or fighting a partner, fighting a family member. Like, hey, come on the peace train. This is creating more peace in your life and more acknowledgement of who you are, rather than fighting for a recognition or fighting for a position or fighting for a point of view. Go, oh, that's a really interesting point of view. And then just back away. Tell the other person, oh, that's a really interesting point of view. Huh. And this is very similar to Tim, right? You can acknowledge, oh, that's a very interesting point of view, and not get sucked into it. Because people create these, they're like animal traps, right? Where you dig a hole and you put like grass over it, and so the animal comes along and thinks it's walking on the grass and it falls into this pit. That's some of the things that people create that can catch you, their pits and their non-growth pits. They keep people trapped into arguing with that person over and over and over again. Just you know what? That's really an interesting point of view. Oh, look at the time, I gotta go. Okay, and who's out there with Suds Paranormal?
That's Tim.
That's Tim? Awesome. Thank you guys all very much. We'll do a show, tonight's Monday. We'll do a show Wednesday, and then we'll do a makeup show on Thursday. Is that good?
Sounds good.
Okay. I love you all very, very much. Hopefully we got everybody. Give me some feedback. I'm happy to hear from you. You can text me, message me, instant message me. But great love, great blessings to you all. And baby Oscar and I are very happy you're here. Have a great night.